Hey everyone, and welcome to your high-level daily intelligence briefing for July 4th, 2026. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. We've got a fascinating lineup of updates today that really capture, the incredible duality of India right now. We're looking at a nation that's simultaneously unearthing centuries-old mysteries while aggressively architecting its economic and biosecurity future. It's just a fantastic snapshot of a country on the move, and I honestly can't wait to unpack it all for you. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. On our agenda today, first up, uncovering ancient heritage. Second, enhancing marine export skills. Third, building world-class industrial parks. And fourth, preparing for zoonotic outbreaks.
So, starting with Section 1, uncovering ancient heritage. We're rewinding the clock to look at a discovery that has absolutely captivated historians over the last few days. To kick things off, let's test your current affairs knowledge a bit. The Trimbakeshwar Temple has literally been all over the news recently. So, do you know which state it's located in? Take a quick second. Lock in your guess. All right, if you guessed Maharashtra, you hit the nail right on the head. Maharashtra isn't just an economic powerhouse. As this recent news proves, it is also home to some of India's most profound, ancient secrets, just lying out of sight. The sheer historical weight of this discovery is just staggering. A unique shivling, which is a sacred representation of the deity Shiva, was literally hidden for centuries and was just found inside the Amrit Kund. That's a holy water tank within the Trimbakeshwar Temple complex in Nashik, nestled right near Brahmagiri Hill, which happens to be the origin point of the Godavari River. It actually stands as one of the 12 highly revered Jyotirlinga shrines of India. And the roots of this site run so incredibly deep that they are explicitly mentioned in ancient texts, like the Shiva, Skanda, and Padma Puranas. Discoveries exactly like this one remind us just how much rich history is still out there, waiting to be uncovered.
Moving from ancient history, we pivot right into modern commerce. Section 2, enhancing marine export skills.
Time for another quick check on your knowledge of India's administrative framework. The Marine Products Export Development Authority, better known as MPDA, functions under which government ministry? Any ideas?
It falls directly under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This is the government arm that is currently driving India's economic expansion and export capabilities on the global stage.
To give you some context on why they're making headlines right now, let's break down exactly what MPDA is. Established back in 1972 by an act of parliament, it's a statutory body with a very clear foundational mandate. Its job is to aggressively promote the export of all marine products from India. Basically, they are the main architects behind India's booming seafood trade.
And that brings us to the number 2. This represents a major recent milestone, the conclusion of the second National Skill Olympiad on Seafood Value Addition. This is an absolutely crucial focus area for multiplying export revenues.
What's so cool here is how localized efforts have massive global reach. This second Skill Olympiad took place during the Seafood Expo Bharat 2026, hosted down in Kochi. MPDA itself is headquartered right there in Kerala, perfectly positioned near India's rich coastal resources. But their reach, entirely global. They maintain trade promotion offices in New Delhi and, crucially, in major international markets like Tokyo and New York. So they are quite literally taking local marine skills and projecting them into the global supply chain, a real game changer.
Staying right in that vein of economic expansion, let's transition to Section 3, world-class industrial parks. I might have just given you a hint, but let's see if you caught it. A major new initiative called the BHAVA scheme was just launched. Which ministry do you think is behind this massive undertaking? If you guessed the Ministry of Commerce and Industry again, you nailed it, for sure. They're making some really aggressive moves right now to overhaul India's infrastructure and export capabilities. Let's demystify that acronym, shall we? BHAVA stands for Bharat Ojagig Vikas Yojana. It is a central sector scheme designed to act as the ultimate blueprint for India's industrial future. The core mission here is to develop a whole network of investment-ready, absolutely world-class industrial parks straight across the country. So the crucial point here is how this is actually being executed. Union Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal recently chaired a Board of Trade meeting where he really pushed this initiative hard. He urged state governments to align their local policies with central export goals and actively participate in this BHAVA scheme. Now, the magic phrase here is plug and play. By creating these ecosystems where roads, power, and permits are already completely sorted out, the government removes the red tape. This makes it incredibly easy for massive global and domestic companies to just move in and start producing immediately. It's brilliant.
Now, for our final briefing today, we are going to shift the tone quite a bit. We're moving from economic blueprints to national defense and public health. Section 4, Preparing for Zoonotic Outbreaks.
We've got another very specific location to identify. The highly specialized 2026 Pashujianya Yuda Abhyas exercise recently wrapped up. Can you name the state that served as the staging ground for this major biosecurity drill?
The answer is Madhya Pradesh. Nestled right in the heart of India, it essentially became ground zero for testing the nation's emergency response capabilities.
And here we have the number 3. This is super significant because this wasn't just some localized test. It was the third national-level mock drill of its kind conducted under the umbrella of the National One Health Mission.
Let's look at the specifics of how this actually went down. This was an intensive 5-day exercise running from June 29th all the way to July 3rd, 2026. It took place in Kari village, which is located in the Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh. The entire operation was conducted by the DAHD, that's the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying. Their main goal? To rigorously test coordination and emergency response using the One Health approach. And that approach basically recognizes that human health is deeply, inextricably connected to the health of animals and our shared environment.
Now watch how this escalated into a complex scenario. The DAHD essentially ran this like a real-time thriller movie. Step 1, a simulated, sudden outbreak of influenza A, specifically H1N1, within local animal populations. Step 2 involved managing the crisis, as the simulation introduced the very real threat of the virus spilling over into local wildlife. And finally, Step 3 required the teams to execute a rapid human emergency response to prevent a full-blown pandemic. It is a really stark reminder of just how seriously these biological threats are being taken today.
Looking at all these developments side by side today, the contrast is actually really striking, isn't it? On one hand, we have the preservation of ancient heritage, finding centuries-old shivlings hidden in historic temples in Maharashtra. But on the other hand, we have this intense, future-ready preparedness. We're building plug-and-play industrial megaparks for global commerce and running highly simulated pandemic drills in rural Madhya Pradesh. It's this fascinating duality of preserving a deep, rich past while relentlessly securing the future.
Which leaves us with a final thought for today's explainer. As India fiercely prepares its economy and its health defenses for literally whatever the 21st century throws at it, you really have to wonder, what other ancient secrets might still be hidden right beneath our feet, just waiting to be uncovered? Thank you so much for joining me for today's briefing. Stay curious, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.